to another episode of Outcasts to Icons, and my god, can you say downturn? Because I can, and I've been saying it for the last 5 matches. Oh my god. Also guys, if you are enjoying the series, please do leave a like on the video. But yeah, things are going from great to shocking in an almost unbearable way. Like literally, since we were 4-0 up against Carmi Otissa and had that penalty miss, nothing has gone right for us since then, basically. It's as if that's just jinxed us. Firstly, I thought conceding the 3 goals in that game was insane, but since then it's just got so much worse, and almost in the same manner. Some of the games obviously not, but some of them it's just like, what are you doing? So we're going to talk about that. Also, the board have now sold our youth facilities as well, in order to try and pay for this huge debt that the club has, and it's getting worse, because now I don't think we're even going to get a youth intake through this year, because I don't think that if you don't have any youth facilities, I don't think that means you get I think that means you don't get a youth intake, which would be just awful, because that's what we're relying on at the moment, is to try and bring anyone through right now, because the injuries are getting worse. We're getting so many injuries now, and I think the issue is we start the season with a full plethora of players, really, and then you go well, and I think with a full strength team, we're one of the best teams in this division, playing well. However, the moment we start getting a few injuries, we've got nobody to bring in, because there just isn't enough money. And the problem is, the minimum wage we can bring players in on is £220 a week. The board will not let me offer them less than that. It's so annoying. Like, even for like a backup player, it's always 220 is the minimum amount I can offer them, which is fucking irritating, because it means that we can't bring anybody else in, basically, and we're stuck. We can't bring anyone on loan because there just isn't anyone, and those that I did find all want wages, which are more than what we're offering. So it's a big trouble. And at the moment, I'm feeling like, well, I don't know what more we can do with this team. And obviously, I'm not going to resign or anything like that, but I just feel like at the end of this season, we're probably going to end up somewhere around mid-table again, I feel, and I just don't feel like we can go very far at the moment. So I feel like it might be a case of us moving on at the end of this season. Like, we've had a good couple of seasons here. We've got our sort of got our confidence back as a manager. It's just that I think we're sort of fighting a losing battle here with the debt that the club has. Like, as it turns out this year, I know some people said, actually, I'm sure I've already replied to this in the comments from a while ago, but with regard to the whole youth player system thing from last season, a lot of people said, a couple of people said, and I hadn't thought of this at the time, that it could have been to do with the responsibilities of your staff. You know, if you have your head of youth, whatever, set to bring in youth players and sign them to professional contracts to actually, you know, and I hadn't thought of that, so I went and checked it, and no, I'm set to do all that still, so I really don't know what's happened. Like, I genuinely hadn't thought of that, so I thought, oh, maybe that's what it was, and I was going to go and fix it for this year, but it was already like that, so I don't know what the hell the problem was, because I was set to bring in youth players. I had all the responsibilities still. Usually when I join a new club, first thing I do is go and do all that sort of stuff. So yeah, I thought I made a mistake, but I didn't, and it's really, really strange. I don't know. So yeah, let's go and talk about what's actually happened this month now. So obviously we had we had a good result against Carmi Otissa, but just the way the game ended was shocking for me. The 2 free kicks disappointed me, the lack of the penalty being scored, etc. Next up, we had a cup game against Paralimni, and of course, you know, you can't expect to win these games. That being said, we missed another penalty. 28 minutes into this one, Georgios Konstanti missed another penalty. Back-to-back games he's missed penalties in now. And he's our best penalty taker, and so I'm not going to take him off of penalties. It was obviously we weren't expected to win this one, which is fine, but the most annoying thing about this is the fact that Constantinu got sent off in the 90th minute, and I could not figure out why, because it was in the centre circle, and he wasn't near the ball. Like, the guy and the guy he allegedly fouled were nowhere near the ball, so I don't know whether it was an off-the-ball incident, which is even more annoying, but the worst thing about it is, because it was a 3-match, he gets a 3-match ban for that, and it accounts for all domestic competitions, which means he missed the next 3 league games. And when you've got injuries, it's just... it was disappointing, to say the least. In our next game, we were away at APEP, and as you can see here, things just got worse and worse. This time, Constanti got injured, as did Cipriano, and we're already lacking players as it is, and they just tore us apart. That being said, actually, no, what we're talking about, this was just a poor performance from us. It really was. We just couldn't seem to, I don't know, break them down. The system they played worked well against us. We were still sort of experimenting with that second system, trying to find out what works best for us, and it was just a poor performance, which is kind of, we were due a defeat, and it was a shame to get it like that, but that's fair enough. I wasn't too bothered. I thought, well, it doesn't matter. We've got other games. We have had poor results in the past, so it's not a big deal. Sometimes you're just going to get poor results. That happens. Unfortunately, it was the way that Kings carried over, and then the next game was just ridiculous. So we were brilliant against Deryneia. We changed the tactics up a little bit, switched things around, played brilliantly, and then Constanti, of course, got injured again in this game, but it was the own... They had 2 shots in the entire match, one of which was this, and it was a good goal. Don't take this away from them, but the point is, we shouldn't be conceding. They only had 2 shots in the entire... Look, 3 clear-cut chances, 2 half chances, lots of possession, lots of shots. They have 1 good long-range effort, and that's all you need. I mean, Jesus. It was just like, the luck is not going for us anymore. And you know when you get results like this, because we were the better side. It wasn't like we were just shooting from range. We were so much better than them in this game, and it's so disappointing to have the defeat, and Constanti getting injured again here. In the next game, of course, we went away to Paphos. Not exactly what you want at this stage. And as you can see, again, Antonis Kastanas this time was injured. And it's sort of a never-ending circle of that one. And as you can see, we weren't that much worse than them in this game. And I was disappointed to lose 4-1. It just seemed that everything... we're like Midas in reverse at the moment. Everything we touch turns to shit at the moment. And everything they touch just turned to gold and went in. So frustrating to watch, I guess, when you see your chances at one end and they're blazing them over, and at the other end, bang. I guess it's just the way this seems to work is it's almost like it kind of goes back and forth, like how it was last season. We'd get a run of good form, then we get a run of terrible form, and then it would sort of go back and forth. It's really strange. I guess it was sort of like when we got our full players back, we could play well again, and then when we got a lot of injuries, it went back to being crap again. It's sort of really fine line, and unfortunately this season I think we're getting too many injuries. In our final game, we were away at Acna, and oh yeah, that's right, Kastanas and Constantino got injured in this one. We've not had a single game this month, I don't think. We've not picked up at least 1 injury. Oh no, sorry, the cup match. But the last 4 matches, we picked up at least 1 injury, and they're not like... Some of them have been able to come back for the next game, but most of them haven't. And we've at one point, our entire midfield had they were not in the correct position because we just had nothing. And we can't afford to bring anyone in, unfortunately. This one, again, we were not the best, and their system worked well against us, and we deserved to lose this one. We were lucky to get the goal that we did, but it was nice to see Catania score. But we had to make 2 substitutions in the first half again. It's just... In fact, what happened with this one is that one of them picked up a knock, and then by the time I'd clicked quick sub, another one had popped up. Basically, I had to substitute them both at the same time. But unfortunately, because we've got no training facilities as well, we've got the match fitness isn't there, and it's just, I don't know, we're sort of fighting a losing battle at the moment. And it's a shame, because I have enjoyed our time at this club, and obviously we will see them through and try to keep them there, but unfortunately the finances are just shocking. Selling the youth facilities only earned the club about 150 grand, and that'll end up being lost again by the end of the season. And they keep saying, bring in money through player sales. Even if I sell these players, it will be for like £600 a pop. They're not worth anything, so there's nothing I can do. Oh, apologies there, guys, just having a little drink. My throat gets really dry when I record. So that's kind of the situation at the moment, and I just feel like, unless we were to get promoted this year, then a 3rd season here would not really be doing us any good as a manager. And I feel that with a new badge that we've got, we could go to a club, we're probably slightly higher up than we have been before, because we've got slightly more experience. We've won a few games now. We've got some tactics under our belt that we feel will work at these kind of lower levels. And if we could go to a club that has a little bit more liquidity, we could maybe try and get ourselves on another level of coaching badge. And, I don't want to just bail out every time things get difficult, but there's a difference between difficult and virtually impossible, because what's going to happen is when the summer comes rolling around, all the players that we've got that are good are all going to want contract extensions, which is fine, or they won't want contract extensions because they're good, if that makes sense, and we won't be able to offer them because we won't have the money to offer them, which means all the players will go out again and it will just be the same thing over and over, and that's, for me, is not going to... we'll just be treading water. But we're still going to see if we can turn this around, because you never know. Like, hopefully we're in the bottom end of a slump. It's been a poor month, but hopefully we can pull this back up. We've played some tough teams. Arimi were 3rd, Paphos I think were top, and Acna was 2nd. So these are all really tough games. Unfortunately, we've screwed them up, but hopefully we can pull it back today against another ridiculously tough team in Deryneia. But we're going to do our best. Oh, they're playing a 4-5-1, which means we're going to go with our other tactic, this one, because it doesn't... that 4-4-2 down and wide does not work against 5 midfield systems, so we're going to try this one. You see what I mean, though? Thankfully, we've actually only got one player out injured. It's just there's a few that aren't match fit yet, and obviously lots of unregistered, because annoyingly you can't play these players. They actually have to register the entire squad, which is really annoying because it means we can't play youth players. We have to basically make do with what we've got in the team when we first start out, and that's a bit of a shame, if I'm honest, because like it's a rule that I think maybe not actually legitimate. I don't know. It just seems surprising because in most countries you can play youth players if they're under a certain age. They don't have to be registered, but in Cyprus they do, it would seem, and that's sort of been the death of us at the moment. But you never know. We've got the full strength. Well, no, we haven't got full strength. We've got at least a decent looking team back at the moment. So yeah, I mean, Castanas I think is still suffering a bit. I think he's the one that's injured. Where is Castanas? Oh, not Castanas, Constanti. He's had to move back. So yeah, it's still a bit of a struggle at the moment, but you never know what we can come up with today. It's disappointing to suddenly go from being ridiculously good, ripping up trees, and then just with a flip of a switch, we're only 4 points off the relegation zone at the moment. We really do have to be careful. Also, note that Aris are bottom of the league. So a lot of the teams but then we lost 4-1 against APEP. I mean, they've only won 2 games, and one of them is against us, so it's very iffy. But we're still going to try and push on through. You know, I want to have a good season still. I want to get some more experience under our belts, try and work on this second tactic in the turn that we've got, and then hopefully, I'm thinking at the end of the season we won't renew our contract. Obviously, since the season ends in March, then we might be able to start talking to other clubs and try and find ourselves. I don't want to take over a team towards the end of a season because we'll end up having the same problem that we had against the same problem we had with IFK. Deary me. And a goal from a corner. Unfortunately, we can't really defend set pieces very well, and we've done nothing in this first half at all. I might switch the other tactic, to be honest, because at the moment we're doing nothing. We'll do it at half time, though, just to give ourselves a chance. Nicolau, and it's... Oh, of course it's hit the crossbar. Of course it's hit the crossbar. Story of the last sort of month of game time, really, has just been that. One end goes in, other end, nope. Yeah, it's been disappointing. It's disappointing. Accurate. Everything just seems to be off. It's almost like it's oscillating. The form is really strange. Screw it. We're going to switch. Nicolau, and we'll bring on Galea up top. Just because, what other choice have we got? I just feel like we need to try and change something here and maybe give it a crack. It might not work, but it might also work. Oh, actually, we've got a chance here. We probably don't. Win the header. Well done. Good stuff. Up to Galea. Can he knock it down? He can. It's Catania through. What a save again. It's just so frustrating when you see those chances and you know that if it was at the other end, it's going to go in, because it always seems to. Like, even our good strikers seem to be just misfiring at the moment, and we've had a team meeting to try and get the confidence back, but at the moment it just ain't happening. Trying to think of what changes we can even make at the moment. We've already made one change. In fact, I might just hang off for a little bit, because we're playing okay. I might go a little bit more attacking, though, just because we need to try and get something out of this game. We've been decent. Like, our pass completion is really solid today. Oh, there we go. It's another goal from a corner. Go on. Yeah. Bravo. Ah, dear. It just isn't happening for us at the moment, unfortunately, guys. We are just... Everything is... Yeah, it's a shame. It's amazing how one tactic can go from... I mean, obviously this is a different tactic, but how you can go from playing amazingly to... almost in the middle of the game. Like, I felt the tide turn during that game against Carmiotissa. Even though they didn't actually play that well against us, they scored those goals, and I thought, uh-oh, you know, this could be the start of something horrible. And it was. We're going to just shoot on sight and just get a little bit stuck in. We may as well overload for the last 10 minutes and take some more risks, to be honest, because what other choice have we got here? I will make another substitution now, though, just to get some fresh legs on. Oh my god. We're going to have to get Chatzarios on. You don't want to get... Last thing we need is Catania getting injured as well. As for the rest of the team, I mean... I'd probably bring off Constantino, actually get Themistocleus on, just to sort of try and plug that gap a little bit. I mean, they've been at least, like, probably slightly edged this game. It's just, like, those damn chances that we've not taken and they have. And it seems to come down to that. You know, they've taken their chances and we haven't. But it's annoying how that just seems to come in, like, these waves of 1 minute we can do it, and all of a sudden we go on a really long run of not being able to do it. Iono. Vasiliou, good tackle. Sotilu, Chatzarios is through here. He's walking incredibly slowly, but that was not offside because it was slid to him by the defender, and Galea's got one back for us. Could he have taken that any slower? That's my question here. When he gets the ball here, right, what is he doing? Like, how slow does he run? Terrible defending, of course, and Galea's got in a goal, but... Right, let's go and get another one. Let's go and have them. We've managed to take our chance, albeit on a plate for us, but here we go. Come on, guys. Chazaris, can he get around the corner? He can. Galea's through again. Again, what's with the touch? It's so poor. And it's a penalty. Lovely stuff. We've come back into this one. At least we're showing something now. That being said, Castanas will probably miss the penalty now. I was a little bit unsure about whether that was a penalty or not. Come on, Castanas, you've missed your last two, but I've got faith in you because you are our best penalty. You can get the best composure and finishing of those sort of players. There we go, 2-2, what a great result. I'm not done yet, though, because the fact is, we're playing well, we've got them on the ropes, and let's just try and go for the winner, because, you know, the difference between a point and no points is only 1 point, and I'd rather just take the risk to go for the 3 and just see if we can get... Oh, of course, he's injured as well. And there's the token injury for the day. In fact, let's just turn this off of overload now and just go back to control and just take the point, since we're going to have to play with 10 men for this last couple of seconds, so we'll just take the point in the end to be easier. It's a good comeback, but it... I feel like with the chances we created in this game, we should have won, and that's the problem. At least we've managed to get ourselves a draw, and at least the live com luck has been good. We've actually won 1-2 and drawn 1 of our live comms so far, so that's not too bad. I mean, it's a well-earned point that we needed, really, just to try and keep us moving along. It stopped the rot, and that, I guess, could be the side... Maybe it's the side of us turning it around again, getting a few players back from injury, and maybe a slightly easier run of games now. We can start putting some of the wins together again and hoisting ourselves back up the table. But you can sort of understand how it's really strange, and it's the sort of same pattern that we had last year. You know, a really good run, then a really poor run, followed by yet another really good run. And it's just a question of how long you can extend the really good runs for and limiting the length of the really bad runs, I think. That's all going to come down to, though, just how many players we've got fit most of the time, and if we can keep ourselves fit, then we might have a chance. But at the moment, as you can see there, we've got the lowest injury record in the league at the moment, and that's probably why we were able to start grinding back. But lately, we've been up sort of around here. I mean, it does seem to sort of pan out, though. Then again, I mean, Arimi doing very well in the league, low injury record. Aris doing pretty poorly in the league. I mean, we've still got the top scorer in the division, though, in Catania, and that is at least something that's nice and positive to have. But there we go. So, let's see what we're going to do for our next episode. We're still going to look as if we're challenging. That's the sort of way I'm going to look at this. Actually, I've got to be careful here. Adonis is next. We've got Asia after that. Ormonia, Othellos, Meep, Aris. That's a lot of games to suddenly put in. I'm thinking perhaps if we do Meep, you know, it's a home game, maybe we'll get some confidence back by the time we get to that match, perhaps. You know, there's a decent number of games in between, but there's no games against the big sides for a little while. Hopefully, this is a good sign for us, because it means, apart from Adonis, of course, it gives us a chance to hopefully get back on the horse and start getting some wins together again, and just secure our status, at least, in the league. I mean, I'm still undecided. If we have a fantastic end of the season, then you never know. I might change my mind about it. I'm just, at the moment, thinking that perhaps, maybe moving on, you know, 2 seasons at the club is good. I'm not trying to keep jumping every single time. If I felt that we could, you know, take this club forward, so we had some decent financial backing and like weren't constantly having to sell everything and losing the squad every year, then obviously I would stay and try to see how far we could take them for a little while until we got a bigger job offer. But for the moment, I feel like we really do need to sort of... But I'm not going to resign, and I don't think we're in any danger of getting sacked. So we will get it to the end of the season and see where we are, and at least get a few more wins, and gives me a chance to work on this second tactic in a kind of no pressure environment. But at the same time, still massively trying to care and get us as far up this league as possible. So guys, if you like what you're seeing, please do drop a like on the video, and if you'd like to even more than that, please subscribe to my channel for more Red Star and Outcast icons in your inbox every single day at 5:30 and 8 o'clock. And I will see you guys in the next episode for a home game against Meep, where hopefully our fortunes have started to favour us again in that time. And I'll see you guys soon. Bye bye.